Hey guys. Um yeah, what a day it's been. Yesterday there was a coup attempt. That's what it was. It was a coup attempt. Failed coup attempt. Yet another confederacy failed, although this time the Confederate flag did get planted in our Congress. So yeah. Um it's interesting. It's interesting. Uh Today, for example, today the day after the coup attempt, I'm hanging out in a grocery store. I needed to get literally um, get some bread, right? I can't eat regular bread. That's not a good idea. So I get the little wraps. They're very small. Carbohydrate, sugar is lower. Portions are lower. Trying to be healthy. Um, and even with a mask on, I recognized him. I was like, this is Alex, right? Alex used to work there. He's also worked in a Broadway diner downtown, and we're friends. We've had a few moments where I believe we had some miscommunication, and I pissed Alex off, but we're cool now. And I was like, "How you doing, man?" He says, "Oh, I just got back in town." And he'd been living in he called it Trumpville, southern Missouri. And I was like, that must have been tough. Just the way he said Trumpville, I'm like, I know this guy's not a Trump supporter. And we talked, and I was like, dude, that was a coup attempt. Uh, it's nothing else. I know what a coup attempt is. I've served in two different branches of the military, in three different wars. I've been overseas in different countries. I know what a third world, demagogue attempting a coup looks like. And this big fat old white guy with white hair barged in and started babbling a bunch of stuff which I was just rapidly trying to ignore. He says, "Yeah, I'm a fascist. This country is different than the ones me and my father saw." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I just basically tried to you know ignore him, and as did Alex. And then he walked off, and he walked around the store not buying anything. He just kept looking at me. And at that point, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not carrying a gun or a knife. Um, I rode my new bike to the store, and I'm thinking, well, I don't necessarily want to punch him in the face. I don't want to get in a brawl with this guy, but if something happens, maybe I'll get to use my jujitsu, just try to throw him down, get on top of him, mount him, hold him down. That'd probably be best for everybody involved. Part of me's like, I could also, gouge his eyes out and hit him in the testicles and stomp on him. That might be a little bit less effort on my part, because the one thing about grappling is it is effort intensive. But quite frankly, I don't want a confrontation. Um, but you know what? I'm probably gonna start carrying again. I might have to. So here we are. So if you're listening to this and you're a Trump supporter, I'm highly surprised, but it does happen. Um, you're on the wrong side. Okay, the Confederate flag you flew, your traitorous Confederates, let's call them what they are, flew. They're people that tried to destroy the democratic government George Washington and the founding fathers started. And, they fought for the right to buy and sell people's children. I mean, they were child traffickers. That's what they were. I mean, not only were they child traffickers, some of them, probably raped a few kids. I mean, the slave has no right to say no to the master. The Confederacy was about rape, slavery, and child trafficking at its core, at its core. And that's the flag your people flew uh, in our nation's capital. It doesn't belong there, right? Um, Also, some of you probably want to assassinate Biden. If you do, you're going to ensure that Kamala Harris is in office. And I don't know if you noticed, but her skin's even darker than mine, right? So, um, you're fucking this up. You know you're fucking this up. Donald Trump, 25th Amendment is too good for him. He needs to be, prosecuted like the criminal he is. It's not his first criminal offense he's done in office. It's not his last. I know a lot of you are complaining about, oh, it's the First Amendment. His First Amendment rights were violated by Twitter. Guys, girls, things more like it. Check it out. That's a private institution. The First Amendment covers, the government not censoring you in a government function. It covers the press um, not being censored. It's actually there to guarantee the rights of the liberals, okay, who drive society forward. Um, Twitter, they're a private institution. They're private enterprise. They're capitalism, and you know to get the service, you agree to the terms of service, and he violates terms of service all the time, right? Uh, and it's not based on race or creed or religion. It's based on usually seditious, libelous, and dangerous things said that are that will actually cause people to do things that will kill themselves or each other, like inject themselves with bleach or something like that, right? This was a coup attempt. It's a failed coup attempt. It will probably not be the last. I think this is going to impact my life. I mean, already I'm having a verbal confrontation, with someone I would normally not even bother to talk to. I wouldn't go out of my way to bother the person or help the person. Actually, if this guy was just hanging out by the side of the road and his car crashed and he was hurt, I mean, I would help him. I would call an ambulance. I'd give first aid. If this guy was had a muscle spasm and fell down, I would probably get him to a chair and call an ambulance. All right. I wouldn't go out of my way to hurt this guy ever, but this guy who knows nothing about me would go out of his way probably to kill me. All right. Um, that's how I feel. Probably a few things I'm gonna really cut down on, cut out of my life. I don't think I'm gonna go to the Masonic Lodge anymore. Um, Mostly because even though it's an apolitical place, you're not allowed to talk politics, you're not allowed to talk religion. I know half the guys there voted for Donald Trump, and don't feel comfortable around him anymore. I just don't want to spend time with him, right? Um, I mean, have at it. There weren't that many of you to begin with. You're a dying institution without me, without new people coming in. I was doing a lot of stuff at the lodge. I was, participating. I was attending. I'm just not going to do that anymore. At least not for this year. Maybe not for a few years. Just the way it is. I'm gonna talk to white people less. I'm gonna trust white people less. I have enough white people in my life. Most of the people in my life are white people because most of the people around me are white people. But y'all, just as a race, are losing my trust. Seriously. You know, I'm having an emotional reaction. I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted. Just look, if you're a Donald Trump follower and anything I've said upset you, just leave my channel. You don't have to listen. I'm you start, posting pro-Trump fascist stuff, I'll just boot you off the channel and leave you be. You leave me be. But in general, yeah, there was a coup attempt yesterday. They lost. Yet another failed Confederacy. Yet another defeated group of fascists and Nazis. I don't even think they'll see justice because Trump still has the power to write pardons unless he's put in jail, which I don't think anybody has the guts to do. Certainly not people that are in position to do it. So let's look out for each other. I'm gonna spend more time at home. I'm still gonna go to jujitsu. I love jujitsu. I don't want to cut that out of my life. Um, a friend of mine just donated a used mountain bike to me, and I rode it around today for a test drive. And when the weather's good, I'll be riding it more. But yeah, 2021, it's not going off to a good start. But again, I still see light at the end of the tunnel, and I'll be working towards that. I'll be trying to move forward because backward it just doesn't make any sense. People that tried to pull off the coup wanted us to move backwards. Backwards is not the place to go. I get it. I think some of you guys just miss having people that are niggers. Like you miss niggerhood. You miss being able to call people niggers. You miss the idea that society will always be stratified, and some people will always be at the bottom, and you know, no matter how low you fall as a white man, you'll always be protected from the very, very, very bottom of it, right? Um, that's backwards. I like the idea of society being egalitarian. Um, if you follow my channel and you're my age, I'm 51 years old. The crazy thing is, I think it was what 1964 or 65 that the Civil Rights Act was passed. That means, you know, only 4 or 5 years before I was born, were all of Americans allowed equal rights and protection under the law. All right, we've only been a fully functional democracy for about 55 or 56 years. And I think the thought scares some people. I think the thought of, truly it being a truly level playing field scares the fuck out of some people. And it probably should. If that's what you have been relying on to make it and to feel good about yourself and to feel like you're part of, you've accomplished something just by being born to the right race or something, yeah, you probably should be scared. But use the advice you give everyone else. Improve yourself instead of saying, well, no, please bring niggerhood back and degrees of niggerhood back so that I'll always be on top. Just improve yourself. Just be a better person. It's what you want everyone else to do anyway. Pull themselves up by the bootstraps. You do it. Your attempt at treachery failed yet again, right? And your leader, who said he would accompany you, who said, "Hey, after this rally, go down there and show them show them some strength. I'll walk with you." He didn't even walk with you. He went home. He's a coward and a liar and a con artist. I don't even think he believes in your cause. Okay, I think he just wants to tear everything down. You along with it. Anyway, yeah, I know this is kind of incoherent, but I had to get it off my chest. Yesterday was a dark day in American history, and it it's gonna be dark, and it's gonna be a while before we can bring some light to this situation. But we're not gonna do it by going backwards. Your coup attempt failed. This is probably like the first attempt at this coup attempt. You're probably gonna see a few more between now and the inauguration and afterwards. But the Confederacy failed. We can't sell other people's children because they're black or Indian, right? We don't have slavery anymore. We're a fully functional democracy, and we intend to stay that way. So everybody, everybody who's on that side, I hope you don't have a good day. I hope you jump in the lake and stay there. As far as the rest of us, we got a lot of work to do because these idiots are intent on burning everything down, everything that's worth keeping as a modern civilization. We've got to keep building. All right, bye.